Ancient Chinese philosophers' life lessons men learn too late in life. Did you know that the biggest secrets to success are hidden in ancient wisdom? Unlock timeless lessons in just minutes. 3 things in life never come back: time, words, and opportunities. So, don't waste your time, think before you speak, and don't let good chances slip away. If someone talks badly about you behind your back, it means you're ahead of them. We live 2 lives, and the second one starts when we realize we only have one. People often ignore their own problems but are quick to point out others. If you're planning revenge, dig 2 graves. You can learn many lessons from defeat, but only one from victory. When you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. But if you're at peace, you're living in the present. Every long journey begins with a single step. We spend more effort convincing others that we're happy than actually being happy ourselves. A healthy person wants many things, but a sick person only wants one: to get better. Keep your thoughts clear. Without bad thoughts, there won't be bad deeds. Whether you believe you can or can't do something, you're right. Learn as if you always need more knowledge, and fear losing what you know. Don't criticize your neighbor for the snow on their roof when your own doorstep is dirty. Holding on to hate means you've already lost. It's more shameful to doubt your friends than to be deceived by them. Show weakness when you're strong and strength when you're weak. A person who flatters you is not your friend, but someone who points out your faults is helping you. Seeing what's right but not doing it is true cowardice. What the caterpillar sees as the end, the rest of the world sees as a butterfly. Trying to go in 2 directions at once will get you nowhere. Being satisfied with what you have makes you rich. A wise person uses things, while a lesser person is used by things. A true leader leads by example, not by force. Even the best sword will rust if it's left in salt water. Human nature has a tendency toward evil. Goodness comes from conscious effort. In chaos, there's also opportunity. To lead others, sometimes you have to follow them. When anger rises, consider the consequences. To know your enemy, you must understand them deeply. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Opportunities increase when you take advantage of them. Let go of your desire for things. Often, the funniest people are the saddest. When you stop trying to be what you think you should be, you can become what you truly are. Moving a mountain starts by carrying away small stones. Before you fight, count the cost. The soft and weak can sometimes overcome the hard and strong. Be so subtle and mysterious that you control the outcome without others realizing it. True words aren't always pleasant, and pleasant words aren't always true. A truly clever fighter not only wins but does so with ease. Living for others' praise makes you their prisoner. In the past, people talked less because they believed it was shameful not to live up to their words. Believe in yourself. Water is soft and flexible, but nothing can resist it. If you think you know everything, you haven't been asked all the questions. When the mind is willing, the body can endure much. Watch your thoughts because they become your words. Watch your words because they become your actions. Watch your actions because they become your habits. Watch your habits because they become your character. And your character becomes your destiny. Big results can come from small efforts. A wise person avoids extremes. Great people keep their childlike heart. We accept advice in small doses but give it out freely. Think carefully before you act. The more people know, the harder they are to control. If what you have to say isn't better than silence, it's better to stay silent. True excellence isn't about winning every battle but about defeating the enemy without fighting. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything gets done. Don't do to others what you don't want done to you. Justice may be slow, but it's thorough. Life is a journey that ends in death. To shape the future, study the past. Loving your friends is easy, but loving your enemies is a harder lesson. Knowledge is valuable, but practice unlocks its power. Bad habits can only be broken today, not tomorrow. Those who know don't always speak, and those who speak don't always know. Don't trust someone who has nothing to lose. Find a job you love, and you'll never feel like you're working. Prepare for difficult tasks when they're still easy. Start great things while they're still small. Talking too much often leads to failure. Life is simple, but we insist on complicating it. If you send your forces everywhere, they'll be weak everywhere. Life is a series of natural changes. Don't resist them, as that only leads to sorrow. Let things flow naturally, and reality will unfold. Think about tomorrow because the past is unchangeable. An enemy is just a friend who knows too much about you. Defeating others makes you strong, defeating yourself makes you fearless. Give a man a bowl of rice, and he'll eat for a day. Teach him to grow rice, and he'll eat for a lifetime. Order turns into disorder, courage into fear, and strength into weakness. Don't seek too hard, or you'll lose what you're looking for. Sometimes, not seeking leads you to find it. It doesn't matter how slowly you move, as long as you don't stop. A skilled artist doesn't change his method for a poor workman. Beware of sweet things mixed with poison and flies that have landed on dead snakes. A man who clings too tightly to life may die easily. Those who don't understand the horrors of war can't appreciate its benefits. Time is something we create. Saying, "I don't have time," is like saying, "I don't want to." A noble person blames himself, while a small-minded person blames others. Water doesn't have a fixed shape, and neither do conditions in war. Overfill your bowl, and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife, and it will become dull. Friends are the siblings we choose for ourselves. It's better to light a small candle than to curse the darkness. Every creature will fight when attacked. Pretending not to know something you do know puts you on top. Pretending to know something you don't is foolish. Tell me something, and I'll forget it. Show me something, and I might remember it. But involve me, and I'll understand it. If you care too much about what others think, you'll be their prisoner. Finishing something is like digging a well. Dig 70 feet, but if you don't reach water, it's just an abandoned hole. Even a loss can turn into a gain, and a gain can become a loss. Knowing right from wrong is the start of wisdom. There's no greater crime than having too many desires. There's no greater disaster than not being content. There's no greater misfortune than being greedy. Fight the evil within yourself before fighting the evil in others. Watch your thoughts, they lead to actions. Complaining about something unpleasant only makes it worse, laughing at it destroys it. You can always rise above those who hurt you by forgiving them. We learn wisdom in 3 ways: by thinking, which is noblest, by imitating, which is easiest, and by experiencing, which is hardest. The truth isn't always pretty, and pretty words aren't always true. People aren't upset because they can't do something. The real issue is that they don't try. The one who angers you controls you. Be content with what you have and happy with how things are. When you realize nothing is missing, the whole world belongs to you. Roads are meant for journeys, not destinations. Never say never because time flies, and nothing stays the same. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. We gain by losing and lose by gaining. No matter how busy you are, find time to read, or you'll choose ignorance. When you let go of who you think you are, you become who you can be. Happiness is when people understand you. Great happiness is when people love you. Real happiness is when you love others. Temperance is the first step toward virtue, which leads to moral perfection. Sometimes we see a lot but miss the main point. The snow goose doesn't need to wash to be white, and you don't need to do anything but be yourself. The wise person knows what they don't know. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. If you lack faith, the world won't believe in you. What seems evil to one person at one time may seem good to another at a different time. I have 3 simple teachings: simplicity, patience, and compassion. These are your greatest treasures. Being deeply loved gives you strength. Loving deeply gives you courage. The way is close, but people search for it far away. It's found in simple things, but people look for it in difficult ones. New beginnings often look like painful endings. Forget injuries, but always remember kindness. The unwilling soul sees what's hidden, and the ever-wanting soul sees only what it desires. There's beauty in everything, but not everyone sees it. The way of truth is like a great road. It's not hard to find, but people won't seek it. A person should never be without shame because the shame of being without shame is shamelessness itself. Be flexible, and you'll stay strong. Be empty, and you'll remain complete. Be worn out, and you'll stay new. A person chasing 2 rabbits will catch neither. Health is the greatest possession. Contentment is the greatest wealth. Confidence is the best friend. A path through the mountains quickly forms if used, but if left alone, it's soon overgrown. It's easy to hate but hard to love. All good things are difficult to achieve, while bad things are easy to get. The whole being knows without learning, sees without looking, and achieves without doing. Learning without thinking is a waste of time. Thinking without learning is dangerous. Treat others as you want to be treated, and you'll find that this is the quickest way to kindness. Success is as dangerous as failure, and hope can be as hollow as fear. People with high morals don't consider themselves moral. which is why they are the most moral. If you make a mistake and don't correct it, that's the real mistake. A wise person who wants to be above others puts himself below them. Wanting to be ahead, he stays behind. The one who offends you takes away your negative energy and gives you his positive energy. A good person is a bad person's teacher, and a bad person is a good person's task. Learn as if you'll never reach your goal and as if you're afraid of missing it. If you're alone for too long, you'll start to accept loneliness. You'll never know your potential if you're afraid to be alone. You can't open a book without learning something new. A long absence from sex can make a person anxious. If you stay true to yourself without comparing yourself to others, you'll earn universal respect. If someone tries to offend you greatly, it harms them more. A person with outward courage dares to die. Someone with inner courage dares to live. Our greatest glory is not in never falling but in rising each time we fall. A great person focuses on the essential and ignores the insignificant. He does everything truthfully but doesn't rely on laws. Don't worry that no one knows you, work to be worth knowing. If you're not afraid of dying, there's nothing you can't achieve. The superior person speaks modestly but acts greatly. If you rush into something too quickly, you'll achieve nothing. If you finish your work carefully, just as you began, you won't fail. The person who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The person who doesn't ask is a fool for life. The less you have sex, the less you want it. Truth told before its time is always dangerous. When true virtue is lost, good behavior appears. When good behavior is lost, justice appears. When justice is lost, decency appears. Decency is just a shadow of the truth and the start of disorder. Without steady effort, there can be no great achievement. Recognizing your smallness gives you strength. True friendship is like two bodies sharing one mind. The person who knows their limits is satisfied. Excessive pride brings disaster. Sometimes you have to yield to win, and sometimes staying low brings victory. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon to discover the wisdom.